Good morning. The recess has ended and we'll conduct the Grant County Commissioners meeting regular session of January the 21st. That is right on the dot, I think 10 a.m. Today the prayer will be led by Dwight Elliott of Fairmount Friends Church, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Mr. Poling. If you would stand.
Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for being able to come together today. You have taught us that knowledge is knowing things, and yet wisdom is the application of that knowledge. And yet one of the hardest things in the world is to be right about something and not hurt somebody else with it. We ask that you would give us patience and steadfastness in adversity, that you would strengthen our weakness, that you would comfort us in trouble and distress, that you would help us to fight. Grant unto us that in true obedience and contentment of mind that we may give over our own wills to you, God, in all things, that in adversity we grudge not, but offer up ourselves unto you without contradiction, and that you would continue to be with our meeting today. Lord, we thank you so dearly for this, and we ask these things in the precious name of our loving Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott. Yeah, thank you. We'll move on to the approval of current claims, minutes, and payroll. Before you, we'll go ahead and take care of the claims it's a ratification. A pre-approval was given 110 at 25. In the amount of the general fund, $535,880.63. Other, $4,040.10. Highway, $145,882.90. A grand total, $685,731.63. Do we do them individually?
Yeah, I would.
So I entertain a motion to ratify that.
I'll make a motion that we ratify the claims from January 13th, 2025.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to ratify the claims 113 and 2025. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion is approved. Now we need to approve claims dated 1/21 and 25. The general fund, $545,614.07. Other, $1,253,186.63. And then within the highway, $54,670.50, which brings the grand total of $1,853,471.20. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to approve the claims dated 1/21 and 25. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So we'll move on to payroll. I did pre-approve payroll 1/15 and 25. And so this is a ratification of payroll number 2. The gross amount is $687,159.83.
I make a motion that we approve payroll number 2.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to approve payroll number 2. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Payroll is approved. Do we have any minutes in our packet, Justin?
No, we do.
No minutes. Let the record reflect that we did receive an annual report today. It'd be the IC 392-2-19. Is that the correct report?
Here's the 1R,
100R.
yeah, 24 compensation receipts and expenditures.
Are there any questions regarding the receipt of that report? No, sir. This is what will be posted in the paper, or?
It'll be advertised, and it will also need to be posted at 2 other locations and this building.
If there's no questions, we'll move on. Communications, board updates, elected officials, board, special committees. Look around the room. Is there any committee updates? Mr. Jackson?
Good morning.
Morning.
You haven't noticed, it's cold outside. We're trying to keep an eye on it. We have been in constant contact all weekend with our shelters, warming centers. So far, everything is operating normally. Really, folks going in there's been pretty light attendance on that. So it's a good thing. Hopefully people are finding places, warm places to go and be safe. So
Tomorrow's supposed to be the worst day.
it is. Once we get through that, this next 24-hour period, we should start to see I hate to even call it a warm up, but we'll be moving in that direction. So yes, things should begin to improve. One other thing, the radio project for the county fire department's moving forward. I was contacted yesterday by JK, so we'll be picking up all the equipment is in. Some installs still have to happen, but we're moving forward with that project. So hopefully, right now the deadline or the hope is that we would be live February 3rd. So
What percent's been, do we have an idea like what percent's been installed, or?
So all the highway department has been installed in their trucks. I'm not sure where the sheriff's department is on theirs. And then the county fire departments are actually really this week, they're hoping by the end of next week that they would all be done and installed. Now, some of those departments have chose to do their own installation or have somebody else other than J&K install. So I can't tell you about that, but the equipment is in. That was honestly, we thought that would be the big hang up, but we'll be in possession of it this week.
We appreciate those involved with that. I know it's time consuming, but we appreciate your involvement.
Any other questions?
Questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the room would like to, elected officials or special committees? Sheriff, do you have anything for us?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll move on to the IT report.
Good morning, gentlemen. I don't really have anything for you this morning, but I am planning on at the next meeting to bring the RFPs for the computer refresh plan for the county. So I'm hoping to bring that to you and have the county attorney have them review it and make sure it's all good. So that way we can start to get that project rolling. So I'm losing my train of thought here.
As long as we, have the documents before the meeting.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, so that was my big goal.
Yeah.
But the second project was I think it's the referee judge. So I finally got all the pricing and stuff for that project to meet with Judge McVicker today to kind of go over that and to see how it's going to be set up for this room, just to get confirmation on that. So I'm hoping to be able to bring that information to you guys and also the council as well.
We probably should form a committee with one commissioner, IT, probably the sheriff for security.
Okay.
When it comes to that referee position, and make sure that we're not leaving anything out.
Right.
as far as if, we're gonna utilize this space, or we're gonna have a new space for the referee position. And then, security of the building or whatever the case is, but just something to be thinking about. Not that I need any more.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I was gonna make a motion that you be the one to be on there.
I was gonna say.
Right, no, I do, the other thing too, Mark, is, I know that we got some equipment that we're looking to get rid of and whatever, whether that's through, the county's auction or through, some governmental sites, whether that's, the phones, the copiers or whatever, but, I know Connor's not here today, but we are working on, some avenues to expunge some of that, old equipment. So,
Right.
just so everyone's aware.
How many proposals are you anticipating receiving for that RFP?
I'm anticipating at least 3 for all the computers and stuff. It could be more because we're gonna post it on the website. And so, pretty much anybody will be able to get to it, so.
Are there any other questions for the Director of IT? No? Thank you, Marcus.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the Highway Department. I didn't see Mr. White.
Hello.
Morning.
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 Update you on a few things. I do have the bid set for Fuel and Stone and Community Crossings for February 3rd's meeting at 9 a.m. The bids need to be in. They did start on the recycle center tarp yesterday, so.
Wishing they did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a little cold, so, they're working on that today again, so, original plan was maybe a week, I'm hoping, so we did close the facility starting today, and hopefully it'll be open next Tuesday is what we're shooting for, so. Update you on some other stuff. We did put down about 1,000 ton of salt and sand in the last, since January, and we've used about 4,000 gallons of fuel and putting material down and getting rid of, snow and stuff, so. And we've already restocked about, 500 ton of salt. I've had that coming in the last week or so, so we're getting on that.
How does the salt come in, if you don't mind?
It comes out of Fort Wayne quad trucks or triaxles. So. This is a copy of the picture I got about a week or so ago on our grade all that we purchased. It's in Fort Wayne doing the 1,500 hour service on it. And then they're gonna clean it and detail it and everything. So probably here in the next week or so, we'll probably get that.
It's the wrong color, right?
No, that's the good new color. So that's the good color.
No, it's not red though.
No, it's not red, so. But, and then tomorrow I gave you guys all a packet. This is for the Bridge 712 on Branson Street here in Marion. This is my presentation that I will be conducting in front of NDOT's 7-board panel, I believe it is, for scoring. This is what I'll present, and if you go back a few pages, back where it has basically the layout of the cost of everything, on this page right here, I wrote on the bottom of it, ways back. Basically, this is the total cost of the project, and we have currently, BF&S is doing the engineering design work, and for their contract, I kind of wrote down there is $490,000. That will be paid, and it will not be used as a match. We are trying to hopefully win the state's approval if we pick up 100% of that. We've found in the past that if we do all that, it kind of puts us maybe a little ahead of other people. If you can see, the total project cost is $8.6 million. Federal funding will be 6.8 of that. And then we'll have to come up with the 1.7 plus the 490,000 for our part. This won't be constructed till 2030. So what I'd like to try to do is, my original plan was to put so much back every year so we didn't have to come up with, $1.7 million in 1 year kind of thing. So what I'd like to do is, if we do get awarded the project each year, I'd like to put a certain amount of money back so that when it does go to construction, we're not trying to get all that done and still not be able to do other bridge projects in that year time. So if you have any questions, like I said, this is my presentation. I'm the first. It does have a schedule at the end of it. I'm the first on the list to do it at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So
everybody else that's gonna follow you will be not as good.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm hoping they just let me go and then be done with it, be all right. You got any questions on that, or?
They don't give you much time to present, do they? 6 minutes?
Yeah, and then 5 minutes for questions or whatever, so.
How many think you're gonna compete with?
I'm on that back page, I believe it's from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So we got Wells County, Huntington County, Kosciuszko, Miami, Elkhart, Adams County, Noble, Wabash, Allen. So, yeah. We're going against that many people for, the bad thing is they don't tell you how much money they have for that year.
So it could be multiple. They could award them.
Yeah, they always usually do, but they don't tell you, say, 25 million and our project's 8 million or 6 million, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wish they'd kind of do that so you had a ballpark idea of how many they were going to try to award, so.
Yeah.
How much will you set aside?
I was thinking like 500,000 or something in that ballpark. And like I said, BFNS consulting firm right now has started design work, but since we didn't get picked last year, they kind of slowed down until we know we got it. We don't want to spend all that money, then find out we didn't get it kind of thing. So once we know that we're awarded the project, then they'll ramp back up and get things moving again with permitting and everything else. So, all I have, unless you gentlemen have any.
Are there any questions for the highway superintendent?
No.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll move on to old business, the presentation of the solar moratorium. Connor Sullivan did draft an ordinance to put in place officially a moratorium on solar, a 6-month. And we have an ordinance in front of us today. Do we have a number? Number 1? Are there any questions from the members? Do I need to read this into the record or? No. Sure.
Marty, so you need to do it?
You want to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Ordinance number 1, an ordinance imposing a temporary moratorium on the issuance of permits for commercial solar energy systems. Whereas the current Grant County zoning ordinance does not address commercial solar energy systems, and whereas the Grant County Area Plan Commission and the Board of Commissioners completed an update to the county's comprehensive plan, which was adopted in 1992. And whereas said comprehensive plan calls for Grant County to adopt an ordinance governing the usage, permissible location, installation, usage, location, operation, maintenance, and drainage requirements for commercial solar energy systems as permitted by IC 36-7-2-2. And whereas said comprehensive plan also calls for various other amendments and updates to the zoning code. And whereas the Board of Commissioners has been advised that the Grant County Area Plan Commission is in the process of engaging a consultant to assist in drafting various amendments to the zoning ordinance and updating the comprehensive plan. And whereas this will include the adoption of an ordinance addressing regulations for the installation and use of land for solar energy systems to be presented to the Board of Commissioners for its consideration within the next 6 months. And whereas the Board of Commissioners finds that establishing clear rules governing the usage, permissible location, installation, location, operation, maintenance, and drainage requirements for commercial solar energy systems is essential for the preservation and protection of the public health and safety as permitted by IC 36-7-2-8. And whereas the Board of Commissioners finds that the best way to preserve the public health and safety of the citizens of Grant County is to impose a temporary moratorium on improvement location permits for commercial solar energy systems pending adoption of the proposed amendment. Whereas the Board of Commissioners and the Area Planning Commission find that the moratorium is necessary to enable them to prepare and adopt an amendment governing commercial solar energy systems that incorporates and considers 1, the comprehensive plan, 2, current conditions and character of current structures and uses in each district, 3, the most desirable use for which the land in each district is adapted, 4, the conservation of property values throughout the jurisdiction, and 5, responsible development and growth as required per IC 36-7-4-603. It is therefore ordained as follows. No improvement location permits shall be issued allowing construction of commercial solar energy systems until the Board of Commissioners adopts an ordinance regulating the installation of commercial solar energy systems. For the purposes of this ordinance, commercial solar energy systems shall be defined as an area of land or other area used by a property owner and/or corporate entity for a solar collection system principally used to capture solar energy, convert it to electrical energy or thermal power, and supply electric or thermal power primarily or solely for off-site utility grid use, and consisting of 1 or more freestanding ground-mounted solar arrays or modules and/or fuels. Commercial solar energy systems are a minimum of 1/4 of an acre in total area. This ordinance will not apply to other types of solar collection or solar energy usage. This ordinance shall expire upon adoption of an ordinance regulating the installation of commercial solar energy systems, or July 21st, 2025, whichever first occurs, subject to paragraph 5 below, which says the Commissioners reserve the right to extend this ordinance and moratorium on commercial solar energy systems if the Area Planning Commission is still working through the update of the county zoning ordinances and the updated comprehensive plan. The Commissioners will revisit this ordinance every 6 months until they are satisfied that the zoning ordinance and comprehensive plan are updated. If the Commissioners are not satisfied, or if the zoning ordinance and comprehensive plan is not updated, the Commissioners can extend this ordinance and moratorium for another 6 months. This ordinance shall be in effect upon its adoption.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the members? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 1.
I make the motion to approve ordinance number 1.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Pooling, a second from Commissioner Stewart to approve ordinance number 1, an ordinance imposing a temporary moratorium on the issuance of permits for commercial solar energy systems. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll move on to item 2 under old business, ambulance territory staffing discussions. Don Harms with EMS.
As I understand, this is a follow-up from the December commissioner meeting. We did meet January 8th. Our plans are to meet, have a regular meeting, go over issues, concerns, ideas. It's the first one's tomorrow. We're meeting in the EOC at 11.
Are there any questions or comments regarding the territory or staffing discussions.
Who's going to be in the meeting with you?
I understand it right, Dr. Keller, Tammy Cornelius, Dave Bard, me, and probably 2 members of my staff, 2 of my supervisors. Oh, Bobby. Maybe
Jackson.
Kevin.
I know, at the last meeting, just following up, that, you know, whatever we can do to work together to facilitate, you know, the best service that we can provide for our constituents. I know that you got that in your mind, and
I do.
I think you'll just keep us updated, and
Sure.
that's all we ask. But if probably is one of us supposed to go to that meeting?
Can if you want to. It's a, I would consider it a more informal meet and report.
Okay. So, I guess if one of us wants to go, we probably.
Absolutely, 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Any other questions or comments?
Sir?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item number 3, selection of a local attorney. We did make our county attorneys Connor Sullivan, but we feel like that we need to be represented locally as well for local issues that may arise that need attention quickly, and as well as litigation. We feel like Mr. Harker meets those criteria for us. And so we have selected him as our local attorney. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we do have a contract, legal service agreement that Connor Sullivan, the county's attorney, has approved. And so would need a motion that we enter into the legal service agreement with Mr. Harker regarding the local attorney presence.
I'll make a motion that we approve Martin Harker as approve the legal services agreement, have him on our legal team.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to approve the signature or signing of the legal service agreement between the Grant County Commissioners and Marty A. Harker of Kylie Harker and Certain. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have an original copy to sign, or?
Yes, I have it.
Thank you. Thank you for your willingness to support our team.
Thank you. The opportunity.
Next, we'll move on to new business. Item number 1 under new business, inmate work crew service agreement. The sheriff's here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I believe that's the one for the Gas City one.
Correct.
The only change that was made to that is we had to adjust the payment that Gas City is making so that the full salary could be covered. I think it was like $200 and some dollars. And if you remember, that's an agreement between the Sheriff's Office, Oak Hill, and Gas City. The individual works as a school resource officer for Oak Hill during the school year. During the time when his school's not in session, he works as a work crew leader for Gas City. I'll answer any questions you may have.
So we're looking to approve agreement to provide inmate work crew for Gas City. And this is made today, the 21st day of January. And it's between, like I say, the city of Gas City and the Grant County. We did have our county attorney, Mr. Sullivan, look over it, and he did sign off. So is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. I have a motion from Commissioner Poling, a second from Commissioner Stewart to approve the agreement between the city of Gas City and Grant County It's an agreement to provide an inmate work crew as spelled out in this contract. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. How much, as far as the savings to Gas City, I mean, if they'd have to go out and, do the work themselves
It's saving them quite a bit of money. I know, as I mentioned to you in one of our earlier meetings, just with one work crew for the city of Marion, has saved them a little over $100,000 just in mowing alone.
Yeah.
And I'll get those numbers to you. Our work crews, the numbers I have for the city of Marion, they do a lot. And it wouldn't surprise me if they saved them over $200,000. But I'll put those numbers together because they do a great job for the city.
Yeah, no, I think it's an awesome, program that you're operating. I think as elected officials to other elected officials that we need to be communicating, hey, this is what we're doing for you,
Yeah.
and just make it known that, what the cost savings is.
And I know that Mayor Rock is very appreciative of our guys, so anytime we can work together, we definitely want to do that.
Thank
But
you.
I'll get those numbers to you. I think you'll be pleased with them.
Yep, thank you. I'm gonna remove item 2 under new business. We'll move on to the facility dog policy proposal. Nathan Meeks with Superior Court 2. Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Judge.
How are you today?
Good.
Good. You should have a copy of the policy that was proposed by the courts. We sent that over, I think, January 7th for your review. And this is kind of the last step in the road for us. This journey began many months ago, and the county council has assisted in funding K-9 Supplies Fund, and the dog's been purchased. And so with your final blessing, then we're ready to proceed. So I didn't know if you had any questions or concerns with the proposed policy or not.
No, I have none. And Connor, our county attorney, has looked over and reviewed this as well. And so I guess I would entertain a motion to approve the policy regarding the Grant County Indiana Courthouse facility dog policy. Just give a brief what this dog's going to do for the public's sake.
Sure, absolutely. So the dog is a specially trained dog that has gone through about 10 months of training, and the dog will primarily be used to help facilitate the testimony of children and also other individuals that might be apprehensive about giving testimony. It's very troubling for children to oftentimes sit on the witness stand in a room full of adults looking at them, and then maybe they have a parent or maybe even just someone else that has wronged them, and they're having to look at that individual in the courtroom and say, that's the person that harmed me, this is the person that abused me, molested me, whatever the case may be. And so this dog is there to then help kind of put them at ease, to give them extra courage to have that boldness and to again take the stand and to allow the proceedings to move forward. And it's something that the Indiana State Legislature has put a lot of emphasis on. Indiana is one of 20 states now that has enacted a law that requires animals such as this to be present in the courtroom during criminal proceedings when you have a person testifying that's 16 years of age or younger. It'll also help not only in regards with facilitating testimony from young children or other individuals that might be apprehensive. It'll also be involved with our problem-solving courts, one of those being mental health court, also drug court, veterans treatment court, and family recovery court. So I think it's a wonderful program that we're trying to implement. It's something that's new to Grant County, but not new to our neighbors, Madison County, Delaware County, Howard County. They all use programs such as this. And so I think it's a good path for us to take forward.
Thank you. Are there any questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to approve the Grant County, Indiana Courthouse Facility Dog Policy as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you and good luck.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Stay warm.
Item number 4 under new business, recognition of service, James Todd. Commissioner Stewart.
Is Mr. Todd here today?
Yeah.
There he is. I couldn't see him from behind the printer there, so. Oh, yeah, so for you, those of you that don't know, this is Mr. Todd, Mr. James Todd. We'll have him tell us just a little bit about himself, but he's retiring after 51 years of service?
50 years.
50 years, okay. And if you want to, tell us just a little bit about what you've done for Grant County, sir.
I've been a surveyor for a long time, and I would just like to thank some of the engineers and surveyors I have worked with, starting with Jesse Mullen, Alan Fish, Joseph Horner, Bob Benedict, and George Camacho. I gotta thank him a lot. I couldn't have done this job without their guidance and help. Also, Deputy County Surveyor Don Rowe, and then Mary Wiesner, Drainage Board Secretary, and Cynthia Fowler, Chief Deputy, and Raymond Bear have been the best crew the last few years that I've ever worked with, and they've made my job a lot more pleasant. And I've seen a lot of changes over coming to downtown Marion over 50 years.
What are you gonna do with your all this free time now?
I don't know. It sure is odd not coming to work.
Well, we have a small token of appreciation for you. This is the flag. We just recently took it down and put it in this case for you. And this is just an appreciation from the citizens of Grant County for your 50 years of service. So.
Okay, that means a lot, and I'm very patriotic. So.
Just follow over the courthouse. Yeah. Special place. Yes, someone wants to take a picture of us.
Okay, I got it.
They want to stand in the middle.
Where are we doing?
Okay.
Thanks for your service.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Todd. Yep.
For your service. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
You've seen these right behind that.
Thank you. We'll move on to item number 5 under new business, presentation of ambulance service agreement. Don Harmon again.
This program is will be an app on an electronic device, your phone. We'll pay for our users to be able to access our protocols and our standard operating guidelines. The setup is $1,600, and then the contract is $25.99.20. That's a year. I felt more comfortable with going with a year to start with, just so we can get a feel for it. They do give you a little discount if you do 2 or 3 years. I kind of want to try it out for a year first and see what we think. Just a easy access to what our guidelines are and what our protocols are, and they can just pull their own phone out and see what we're talking about and how we expect them to behave.
So this is a request for mission critical protocols to allow the EMTs access to the data at their fingertips, so to speak. And it's 2 proposals, correct? It's the document migration as well as the basic plan.
Correct. Yeah. That's a one-time fee, obviously.
The migration's one time. And this is gonna be for 1 year, just to give it a trial run. This is just permission to move forward, or?
Yeah, it's a contract, so, yeah. I don't know, is that something you want me to sign for, or do you want me to bring that back?
Well, we don't have a physical copy of the contract.
We don't have it yet, because I haven't given them the okay yet. I was waiting on you.
So, I mean, how do you want to handle this?
I would say we go ahead and approve it pending
Contract.
one of our attorneys review the contract.
Okay.
I'd also suggest just taking a look at that date to make sure the price is still the same.
Yeah, I did ask him that, when I noticed that, and his email back to me was that it's still valid. I just asked him that the other day.
There's funds within your budget
Yeah,
to accommodate this.
the 15th, I asked him, he said it was still valid.
When do you expect to have the contract? Would you have it today?
I'm gonna give him the go-ahead today, so we'll see, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request as presented pending our attorneys reviewing the contract and signing off on it.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Polling to approve the quote within mission critical protocols, as well as the document migration basic plan. It's $1,600 for the migration and $2,599.20 for the basic plan, which is 114, I'm guessing licenses, users. And that's pending legal review. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next on our new business, item number 6, a grant request, Bourne Foundation, Terrace Street Health Department. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So beginning January 1st, 2023, all children under the age of 6 in Indiana are required to be tested for their blood lead levels. Anyone with a confirmed blood lead level higher than 5.0 requires a risk assessment, a home visit. The home visit typically ends in the home being assessed for its lead risk. We are currently paying $1,300 a case for every home risk assessment that we have to do. It requires an initial assessment at $650. And then there's a closing assessment. Sometimes there's another one in between to see if remediation has solved the problem. We hire this out from a company up in northern Indiana. We have our environmental health specialist, Josh Keller, has gone through the week training. He's now a certified lead risk assessor. We just need the $24,675 XRF machine for him to be able to do those assessments. We are asking your permission to apply for a grant through the Bourne Foundation to fund that machine. And Josh is here to answer any questions if you have them.
Does this might be a stupid question, but does this replace the $1,300 that you were talking about per case?
We wouldn't have to, we could do in-house, yes, we could do it all in-house.
And how many cases do you have a year?
We had 14 in 2023. Not all of them have had their final assessment. We have one case that she moved, the child's blood levels continued to stay up, so that started the process all over again. Did she move to another house that had high lead levels? So
what the state did was lower the testing age now. Is this part of that grant you got?
So no, this was done before that. So they did two things. First of all, they lowered the number that required investigation, but then they also required all children under 6 be tested. So it was a two-phase thing. Lead in the child's blood can result in brain damage and organ damage. It can be a bad thing, and we have enough old homes throughout Indiana, but in Grant County, that it is a bigger problem than people probably give it credit for.
I guess I would be in favor of pursuing the grant. Is this like, this question's probably for you, but is this like the #1 gun, or?
This gun requires a non-replacement of isotope. which this gun is probably about $6,000 more, but we don't have the upkeep and the cost every 2 to 4 years of disposal of the radioactive isotope or replacement. And that's anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 every 2 to 4 years.
Okay. It says it's guaranteed for at least 5 years?
Yes, sir.
So then every 5 years we have to buy one of these and bring up grant?
It's just guaranteed then. I've talked with the representative and I asked her about that. And she did say that's just the guarantee. There's companies that have had this one for 15 plus years, so.
So is this for environmental?
Yes, sir.
They work hand in hand with our nursing division on life case management.
And purchasing this would also, I could use it at different events to educate people on the lead level and things in their home. Or, when we go to the fair and set up a booth, we could have them bring in a few things, we could test them, just to show them, the dangers of things that are in their everyday use, so.
Well, and I will tell you, the company that we work through right now, their XRF machine is down. They've had to keep kicking back an assessment for 2.5 weeks now, waiting to get their machine back, so.
Any other questions or comments from the members? If not, I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the grant request as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to approve the Health Department to go after the grant regarding the X550 lead gun. Are there any other questions or comments from the members? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll move on to number 7 under new business, grant request within the Public Health Emergency Preparedness Fund.
This is just, I need to sign a letter of intent if we plan to take the preparedness grant for another year. We've been accepting this grant every year since 2001. It funds our preparedness coordinator who takes care of our public health disaster and emergency plan. And at this point, they just need the letter of intent. The contract and the grant will come later in the year.
We talked a little bit about it. This is the one during the budget process on the county council side that we was talking about combining that with Mr. Jackson's number 2 employee to help offset, making him full-time.
Correct.
Is that something that we can still do?
So this grant requires that it be a half-time health department employee. I think we talked about that. And we don't have to take this grant and can still have a preparedness coordinator, but we're going to have to fund it a different way. And because we took the Health First Indiana funds, we are required to have a preparedness coordinator. So this covers that cost. So if we do it using this grant, then it has to be a half-time health department employee. And I believe I provided you last year's grant that stated that.
And who's your employee?
At this point, Bruce Bender is our preparedness coordinator.
In other counties, how's the structure on the preparedness coordinator?
In 92 counties, there's only one county that uses their preparedness coordinator and their EMS director. Do you remember what county that is, Bob? Rush County.
Are there any other questions or comments?
I'll make a motion that we approve the grant request as presented.
I don't like this grant. I never liked it, even when I was on the council. I'll second it.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to approve the letter of intent as far as the preparedness grant. And the cycle on it's odd, right? It's from
July to June, yeah. So I'll be back when the grant is farther down the road.
So we won't actually
I will
take,
happily meet with you and answer any questions or concerns you have. I know you've never liked it, but I would like to
No,
help
I believe it should go to 911
Oh,
because Bob's the one that actually draws it all up.
I don't,
Everybody else is just included.
that's way higher than me.
So it does say in the letter, we ask each local health department. So
Yes. And this is just, yes, we want to participate, no, we don't. It doesn't lock us in. You can.
so we can still,
Like I said, yeah,
we'll still approve it.
Okay. All right, yes.
So a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. And again, we'll be happy to talk about your concerns.
I'm gonna add a couple items under new business. One thing that we've noticed here in the last 6 months or so, we've been having some issues with the timekeeping system. We haven't fully went to electronic timekeeping system within several departments. I know it's creating extra work. We've been at this 2 years trying to have our employees be held accountable for the time that they're clocking in and out. And right today, we just don't feel like that this system's working for us as a county. And I guess I'll let you chime in on that as well, Madam Auditor.
I just know that we've been working on it for 2 years. We still don't have all the departments interfaced with it yet. The Sheriff's Department has different policies. Probation corrections have different policies. Courthouse has different policies. It's just almost impossible for this system to accommodate all of the policies.
And I know part of the makeup of the software is some of our county policies aren't jiving with the software, so it creates extra work. And it's actually taken longer to process payroll now than it was before. And do you have anything else to add, Stacy? So I think that our recommendation is that we're going to go back to the old way of doing timekeeping. And so if there's any modifications that you want to do to the old style record systems, we'll be more than willing to entertain those. But I think I'd like to have a motion to go back to the old timekeeping system. Now, saying that, I think there definitely has to be some type of accountability process, the way that the old system works. So I think that we'll probably end up doing some audits throughout the year to make sure that our employees are clocking in and clocking out, and their time is held, they're held accountable for the time. We haven't worked that out, but I think that's something to talk about, that we will have an auditing process, maybe one department a month or whatever the case may be, but we haven't figured out what technology we want to use. Obviously, this timekeeping system's costing us about $26,000 a year to operate, and we're not fully on it, as far as the sheriff, the highway, and some other departments go. But I think in the best interest of the county that we revert back to the old timekeeping system. When do you want that to take effect?
Today, effective today. Yesterday.
So I guess
we're right in the middle of the cycle. So, I mean, we could.
Seriously? Today?
Seriously.
Okay.
Please.
So I guess I'll open the floor to any department heads or elected officials that have any question regarding the timekeeping, or questions, comments, if you have any.
I would just like to make a suggestion that we even the playing field out with our policies and procedures. My department is heavily affected by that. The employees that came across from the sheriff's office or from the city of Marion are grandfathered in under the sheriff's department contract. That was in place at the time. My new employees now fall under the county handbook. Two different ball games there. So just whatever we do, I would like it to be clear across the board.
Okay, thank you. We can talk about that too.
Yes.
As me talk about that.
since it's my first day, I don't know what the new system is or the old system.
Yeah.
So if you could just send me an email, right? Or get a hold of me, I'll be down in the office here probably tomorrow.
Yeah, introduce yourself if you will.
Todd Glancy, area plan. And we're working on my exact title, so director at this point.
I believe you're administrative assistant.
Administrative assistant, okay. But I've applied for the directorship, so we'll see what happens. So that's just my request, is let me know what system you prefer, so I'm on it, okay? I assume there's something already written out.
There is a spreadsheet that I will send to you that you utilize to fill in your timeline.
All right.
Yeah,
I want to make your job as easy as I can.
I would make a recommendation that you send the information out, the new sheets, what you want to use. After this meeting, craft an email and make sure you send it out to everyone.
I would also encourage all elected officials and department heads at this time, they need to record what's in there as far as earned time off, comp time, all that stuff. You kind of need to take a snapshot right now.
And that's something maybe you can include in your communication with them as well. So I guess can we have a motion that we convert back to the old timekeeping?
I make a motion, revert back to the old time.
I'll second. I have a motion from Commissioner Poling, a second from Commissioner Stewart, that we're going to revert back to the old paper way of timekeeping from this point forward, noting that don't get complacent that we will be doing audits and making sure our employees are, getting the time that they're required to get. But I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Another item under new business, as county commissioners, we're supposed to hold the titles to all county vehicles. And that's something that's kind of gotten away from past practice. So we're looking at bringing all the county vehicle titles back by March the 1st. And we'll be communicating with Justin to get those titles back by March. We want to do a vehicle inventory audit. And so we're asking for those titles to come back by March the 1st. So is there a motion regarding that?
So moved.
Second. I have a motion from Commissioner Poling, a second from Commissioner Stewart to approve to request the titles of various vehicles within the county come back to the county commissioner's office. Communicate that with Justin by March the 1st. One more item if you don't vote. Oh yeah, sorry. You guys have any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And one thing I want to bring to your attention under new business, and I know it's not listed as well, permission to proceed with the EMS building, classrooms. I know we're still working through the insurance process on getting the final dollars regarding the fire from EMS. And we're on a timeline to utilize some of the funds to build new. I believe we have to be under contract by, Don, what was it?
August 21st.
There you go. We need to be under contract by August the 21st. I know Mr. Jackson has prepared kind of a wish list as far as the building layout or the extension of the EMS building, but as you know, currently without that building, we haven't been able to offer it. Some training classes that we definitely need to continue to offer, whether that be on the fire side or the EMT side. So I think that the request would be that we move forward with some type of design consultant work regarding the EMS building. So I don't know, Marty, maybe you can walk us through that process. We need to take any official action to hire someone to do design work so we can get the ball rolling on some construction.
you can just do a motion to start the process without committing to anything.
So I entertain a motion to start the process. That way we can capture all the insurance dollars we can and continue to provide the training classroom areas. So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stewart, a second from Commissioner Poling to proceed with the EMS building regarding training and capturing all the insurance funds that are necessary. Are there any other questions from the members? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. That's all the new business I have. Do you gentlemen have anything you'd like to bring forward?
No, sir.
Nope.
Sir, just circle back real quick. I was speaking with, I can't see if David White's over there or not, but we did receive the last invoice for the cleanup for the asbestos.
Okay.
So now it'll move into demolition.
Is he back there? Or you checked out? I know that's been dragged on for some time, and glad to hear that we can finally maybe get that building down this month or next month. It's been an ongoing process. So. Any other new business? I believe that's all I have. We have a Board of Finance meeting scheduled directly following this regular session of the Grant County. Our next meeting is a joint session with the County Council. It'll be tomorrow evening, I believe, at 6 o'clock. We're going to have a discussion regarding the jail project update. BW Construction will be here to present to both the commissioners and the council regarding, renovation of the detention center and some other stuff. They're going to present a bunch of options. So if you're wanting to hear that or be a part of the discussion, I would encourage you to attend that joint session meeting. And what time is the Board of Finance meeting?
Just as soon as this meeting is concluded, we'll take a 5-10 minute break. But
let's take, I'll open the floor for some public comment. Keep it to 2 minutes. Come to the podium, state your name and your address, and I'll entertain any public comment.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Josh Phillips. I'm the code official for the Indiana State Fire Marshal's Office that is currently covering Grant County. I will be covering Grant County for the foreseeable future. We do have a new employee that was just hired by us that is going to be filling the vacancy that was left for Grant and Madison County with Brent Stantz. He is not slotted to start with us until sometime in February. It will take at least 4 or 5 months to get him trained and out into the field with it by himself. So until that time comes, I will be covering this county for all fire and building code inspections. I've already met with the building department or the area planning department here at the county, as well as the city officials. I know some people don't quite understand what we do. But when it comes to the actual county itself, especially anything outside the limits of Marion, if there is not a fire code official, so you don't have an inspection program or a fire code inspector, we are the ones who are responsible for that in those territories or those jurisdictions. From a building code standpoint, you guys do have your area planning with building inspectors, so they are the authority having jurisdiction over building inspections. Whether it be residential or commercial in Grant County itself. So from that aspect, we are a reference or a guide or assistance that we will give to the local building departments if they have any questions, whether it be trying to figure out different things in the code or even requesting an additional set of eyes to help them, do inspections, especially with new projects where a construction design release is required. So I had already spoke with the building department and the planning, area planning. I'd actually spoke with a lady upstairs about a month ago about trying to set something up because we had some questions in regards to the detention center that's going to be coming up. or what's going to happen with that. That was after I went there because we still showed them being an active establishment in our system with the state. Luckily, we were able to find out that was not the case, but they got some other questions started. One of those being that I need to just kind of reiterate to you guys as the governing authority for Grant County that we as a state fire marshal's office, me as a code official, we are legally allowed to enter properties, commercial properties, class 1 structures to do an inspection. There were some questions because that was not quite known at the detention center, even though it's not open. There were some individuals that thought, well, no, they can't come in unless the commissioners approve them to. I just want to make sure we're clear that we're here to work with you guys, but we still have inspections that we do have to perform legally every year. But I want to work with the county figuring out what's going on with the jail project because we will have to inspect it every single year. We do the fire code inspection for the Department of Corrections at all jails in the state of Indiana. So as time goes on, the new guy comes in. My goal is to get him here out in the county, working with the locals, trying to even do some meet and greets with you guys as well, because ultimately we are here to assist any way that we possibly can. We are the ones also, we do county buildings. Even though the county courthouse, the jail, even this building falls in Marion, I know that their fire code officials and stuff will do inspections on it, but we also will periodically do inspections. It may not be every year, but every couple of years we will inspect the local county and city buildings just to make sure there are no fire code issues. So the only reason I'm here today was really just to kind of introduce myself to you guys while I'm covering. I do have my information. I will make sure the county has. I know the building department already does have it, but if anything comes up, I want to make sure you guys know who is covering this area for the time being until we get our new person in place.
I appreciate you communicating with us today, and nice to meet you, and we look forward to working with you and anything we can.
Like I said, I'm going to be here until they get me, tell me that the next person is ready to go. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm, being as transparent as possible with the county government, because at the end of the day, we're here to work together with each other. All right? Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Any other public comment? If not, thank you, and we'll be in recess.